Hola, hola. It's your girl Erica from America. Welcome to the Confidence Chronicles podcast. This podcast is all about helping you stand in who you are. Stop giving a fuck what people think about you. Start standing as your fully expressed self. As you are, queen, as is, there is no filter needed. You are fucking awesome. And I am here to remind you, I'm a confidence coach, a business mentor, a speaker, an author, and I am obsessed with women standing up, showing up, and creating their confidence. And I cannot wait to dig into today's episode with you. Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to the podcast. My goodness. Okay. First of all, I love you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you so damn much for clicking on this episode. It is something that I've been thinking about a lot recently as I myself move through a massive identity shift. First of all, I recorded this episode and it was so fucking fire that I was like, damn, this is a great episode. And then I left. I had to get on a plane because I've been speaking a lot. Thankfully, it's been amazing. And my team is like, there was no audio. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So this is a double up. I've been talking about this so much. I've had to talk about it twice on the podcast already because it's such an important, potent question and topic that comes up so much. So in a short time, I want to go deep into this. Before I do, I just want to say, if you are listening on Spotify, if you are a listener from Spotify, shout me out. Give me some love. Go over to Spotify. Drop me a question. Drop me a comment. Drop me a recommendation. Whatever you want. Because now, for whatever reason, Spotify has done something quite amazing. And I wish every podcast platform would do. They've allowed you to leave comments. And if you leave a comment, then I get to see the comment and then I can reply to you and we can have a good old chat. Some of y'all have already left comments on some of our podcasts. I just want to say shout out to you and thank you so damn much. Gorgeous Gwyneth Maud Campbell, who left a comment around the stop being flaky. She was like, love this episode. I find your podcast so enlightening. I can definitely relate to having been flaky and people pleaser in the past. And just like, it's really great for me to be able to see what you love as a listener, what you relate to, what you want more of. Like, please let me know. So if you're on Spotify or if you listen or watch any of this on YouTube, like, I love you. Please head over there and drop comments. I read all of them. I am the one that's in there. Right now, I'm currently trying to figure out how we can build YouTube, but it's been a massive situation in our behind the scenes in the company. So lots of crazy growth, lots of things are happening, and I'm just seeing how now we're going to have to really focus and get some people supporting us to build the YouTube. So anyway, the point of the story is if you're loving the podcast or you have questions or you want to ask anything, please come in and send me love and questions in there, and I will reply because I got the app and I love to chat there. Okay, let's get into it. So I want to ask you the question, who are you? Have you ever thought about that question? Who am I? Like, who am I? Who am I really? What am I doing with my life? What's going on for me and my purpose? Who am I as a person? Would you identify as a mother, as a daughter, as a business owner, as an introvert, as a shy person, as a woman, as a Latina? Like, when you ask yourself the question, who am I? What comes out? This is really a question that for a long time I've grappled with. And I think many people think that they know who I am. And hear how I said that. People may think they know who you are. But guess what? Nobody knows who you are. I would say you don't even know who you are. And I say that with respect and love and challenge. Because what I believe to be true is that we know who we're not. We know who we don't want to be. We know what we don't want to do. But knowing who we are, consider that alone is you being tied to a particular identity, you identifying with your ego, the self that you think you are, the untrue self. And so I always say I don't know who I am. I genuinely don't know who I am. I know that I'm always shifting, changing, and evolving, and so aren't you. But what I do know is that I know who I'm not. And I want to talk about it because I right now am moving through what I would like to call an identity shift, an identity fuck. Sometimes it feels like an identity fuck. It's shifting and changing and moving through the discomfort that a change of identity of who you knew yourself to be, of who you thought you were, comes. It's when you start to shift, when you start to learn, when you start to grow, to evolve, to gain wisdom, or with age and experience, you completely shift and transform who you are. You transmute into the next level version of yourself or the next layer, or you let go of something that you have closely identified with. And then you're shifting and moving. And that can be so uncomfortable because you're no longer who you thought you were. You're no longer who the world thought you were. You're no longer that boxed persona. And you might be shifting into a new version, a different level, a different layer. What do they say? New level, new devil, right? Like, it's so true. You're moving into this new version of yourself. You're shifting identities. But the move from where you are to where you're going is uncomfortable. And consider that as your leg leaves where you were, you're in no man's land right now until you step your next foot into the who you're going to be land. And that transition is sticky and murky and yucky and gross and weird. And like, I want to talk about it. Because for a very long time, especially in my business, like I would always identify myself and say that I was a loud and crazy Latina. Like, I'm so loud, I'm so crazy. And everybody like, you're so crazy. And like, I don't get offended about the word crazy, even though my mom's bipolar. I never took it as like a mental illness crazy. Some people don't like that word. I don't care. Say what you want to say about me. I know who I am. I know who I'm not, whatever. But for a long time, that whole like, oh, you're so crazy, you're so loud, you're so Latina was like, oh yeah, that's who I am. So then I really struggled with being quiet. I really struggled with listening. I really struggled with being calm. I really struggled with being focused. I really struggled with like tunnel vision, putting the horse blinkers on and really paying attention to one thing and being consistent and discerning. And I struggled with that because I would label myself as crazy loca, all over the place, Latina, woo woo, extrovert. Ugh. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not loud and crazy. There are times where I want to be quiet, where I want to be calm, where I want to be chill, where I'm not hype. There are times where I'm soft as fuck. I cry so much. There are times where I'm super gentle and super fragile. There are times where I'm a fucking badass motherfucker and I will kick your ass. Like there are times where my little inner Juanita comes out and she wants to bust somebody's ass. There are times where I'm a lover and a sexy ass mama with my husband. There are so many different versions and identities that I carry inside of me. And I never want to be just one. And I don't want you to allow others or allow yourself to box yourself in. And even if for a while you have to be the identity of the beginner business owner who's in her hustle, because that shit is a season, then cool, that's your season. But I never want you to think that that's who you need to be, or that's who you're going to be forever, or that those tactics that you're using in the beginning are going to work for you when you're scaling, are going to work for you when you're in the 10 millions. It's not. You're a mother, okay? And what happens when your children move from home? You're now an empty nester. And you were still a wife or a partner maybe. And what happened to that relationship because you were just mother? And what happens when you're only work, and you're not present in the other areas of your life? So like, these are the examples of identity shifts that we have in life. And if we hold on, gripping, with our freaking nails and claws too strong to this one identity that we think we need to be, when things shift and change, which they naturally do, we're not going to know how to roll with it. It's going to feel sticky and hard. We're going to fight it. And I don't want you to box yourself into an identity. I am this. I am that. I'll tell you quickly. When I first started doing better in my business, because I've always been doing well, I believe. I believe I did well from the gate because I wanted to do well. I made 6 figures quick in my business. And at the time, that was highly profitable because I didn't have staff, I didn't have team, I didn't have anything. So that was really good. But then I got to a place in my business where I was doing about $80,000 a month. And oh my God, it was so great. I was doing 55 for a while, and then we moved to doing $80,000 a month. And then quickly went to $100,000 a month. And in my bank account, my business bank account, we had $80,000. And it would just sit there, $80,000. And I noticed myself making it mean something. Making it mean I have money just in case. Making it mean I am, air quotes, doing well. Making it mean that there's money. Making it mean that because there's money, it means that I'm good and I'm smart and I'm worthy and I'm all these meanings. We make meaning about so many things. And if I wasn't aware, which I wasn't for a long time, that's very dangerous, because if that changes, then there goes your worthiness. There goes your identity. There goes who you know yourself to be. There goes you're not smart anymore. You're stupid. You're not good. You're unlucky. You're whatever, all these things. And so I had a session, I think it was around New Year's Eve, with my shamanic healer. And my husband had a session with him as well. And he had us do this kind of burning off. It was like a ritual, ceremonial, end of year thing. And we love end of year. I freaking love it. I feel like it's such a beautiful time to really say thank you, to be grateful, to reflect, and to create, to complete the year and create what you desire for the following year or years to come. We do 10-year plans. We did a 10-year plan today. Like, again, we always do our 10-year. It's just beautiful to think about the future, but also to be present and be grateful. So one of the exercises he had us do was basically finding things in nature that signify identities. So it's just, you make it up, right? It's nothing that like set in stone. I found a leaf and I was like, that leaf is motherhood for me. And I took the leaf and I put it in the little mandala. And then I found another thing, a rock. And I was like, oh, these are all the times where I've been a fucking asshole. These are my asshole times. Okay, I put that down. This is me as the wife. This is me as the, and I remember I picked up a flower. It was a white flower. And I was like, this is $80K a month in my bank account. And I wanted to, in the ceremony, burn it, let it go, let it kind of fly away or burn away into nature, because I found myself really making it mean that $80,000 in my business bank account meant that Erica was smart. Erica was successful. Erica would be okay. Baby, I don't want to be okay. I want to be fucking thriving. I want to be great. I want to be exhilarating. I want to be killing it. I want to be on fire. I want to be fuego. I don't want to be okay. And I was noticing what I was making the 80K mean. Now, maybe your number's 10. Maybe your number's 200,000. Your number, maybe it's different to mine. Doesn't matter. It's not about that. What it was about was I was identifying with this $80,000 a month in my bank account. So guess what happened when it went to 60? Oh my God. Scarcity. I'm not good enough. I'm stupid. I fucked up. Something's wrong with me. I'm not good with money. I don't know where my money goes. All these lies. None of it's true. Money is like energy, and it moves and it shifts, right? And I'm moving the money, and money should move, not stagnant. It's moving. As I invest, someone pays me. As I pay someone, someone invests. And it shifts and it moves into hands and bank accounts of different people. That's my belief, right? It's an energy. We don't want our energy to get stagnant. And here I am like holding this energy of money stagnant. And so it started to shift. It went to 100, then it was like 120, and then it was like 40,000 one day. And these are over the months, right? Not like in the same week. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm just noticing that this has a grip on me. And it had this identity of who I am. And I'll tell you what, in 2021, when my mom got sick and all this fuckery happened with her, and I think I've talked about it on the podcast, like our business went to shit. It was so messed up. We lost $50K a month. It was hectic. We were bleeding money in America, just like paying for things for her, doing, like it was just, I was mentally not good. I stopped converting and I stopped attracting and I stopped marketing, and it was just hectic. And although it was horrible, it was a really good wake-up call for me and Hamish, because we got to see how we were identified in regards to money. And oh my goodness, I am so much more than 80K a month. You are so much more than 100K in your bank account. You are so much more than 10K a month. That is not who you are. You're so much more than the money that you make, than your weight, than the labels that you carry for yourself. We are so much more than that. And I want you to be ready for when the time comes that you need to jump fucking quantum leap identities and be somebody else and step into that version, that you can do it with ease and flow. And you're not kicking and screaming, trying to grip and hold onto who you knew yourself to be. Because the evolution of who you're becoming, ooh, girl, who are you becoming? Yes, you know who you may be right now. Fantastic. But what do you know about yourself that you don't want to no longer, like what you no longer want to hold on to? Are there parts of you? Are there things you do? Are there circumstances? Are there experiences? Are there mindsets? Are there thoughts, stories, beliefs that you no longer want? Are there people that you go, I'm done. I would like to release this part of my identity. I don't want to have that anymore. That's not for me. I'm done. It doesn't fit me anymore. That's not who I am anymore. And we want to send off and release. And in order to let go, that means our hands are bare. We have nothing now. We're not holding anything. So we've released it. Now our hands are open and empty. And now what will we find to pick up? What will we be able to hold because our hands are empty? Our hands don't have who we were to be, what we know ourselves to be, the amount of money, whatever label we place on ourselves. And now who can you be? And the question is, who am I becoming? Who do I want to step into? Who is she? Who is the version of me that has the thing that I want, that feels the way that I want to feel, that is creating the abundance, that is creating the impact, that is creating the mission and vision, that is in that happy relationship, that is traveling the world, that is mothering, that is abundant, that is joyful, that is magnetic? Like, who's that? And consider that if we're holding an identity of who we know ourselves to be right now, we cannot step into that version of ourselves that we desire. We have to let go, move away, and walk over there. And the walk is going to feel weird and lonely. And sometimes the walk feels like you're drowning. And sometimes the walk, it's pitch black and you don't fucking know where you're going. And you're like, am I even moving? Or am I being moved? You are being moved. And I want this for you because I feel like it doesn't need to be so hard. I'm not saying it's seamless. No way. To identity shift and change? Of course not. But it doesn't need to be a battle and a fight. And I don't want you to get stuck in, this is who I am. I know myself to be this. Because what happens when that shifts and that changes? And I know it happened to my mother-in-law. I saw when the kids left, and it happens to a lot of mothers, by the way. When your kids leave, you're no longer the mother. Who are you then? And they feel like useless and worthless, and they have no identity because forever they've been a mother. And now the little humans that they made and raised and loved have gone into the world to go be their human selves, to go be their expression, to go do the things they came here to do. And now the woman who raised them and looked after them is like, fuck, who am I now? I'm like, you were mother, but you were also something else. And maybe we didn't pursue the something else. And maybe you're feeling like it's time for you to pursue the something else. Maybe your babies are young. My kids are young, like 6 and 9 years old. They're babies still. They're not babies, but they're little. And I have my vision and I have my passion and I have my purpose that has nothing to do with them and everything to do with what I'm here to do. And I also have them. And I also have my life with them. And I also love them to death. And I'm their mother. And I'm also the person that's here to guide them. And I'm also the person that's going to release them into the world and believe that everything we pack them with, they're going to go off into the world and create their lives. And I'll be there to support them. And I'm also Hamish's wife. And I'm also a friend. And I'm also a dreamer that has big dreams of impact. I'm also an artist. I'm a fucking artist. I don't think I've ever owned that on the podcast. I want to create art. I want to act. I want to perform. I want to dance. I might want to sing. I might want to write more books. I'm also that. And I'm a fucking daughter to a difficult mother. Right? Am I my bank account? Am I my fucking body weight? My body, the shit that when you start to dig into this about your shifting and you're changing, I remember reading a book that I think Deepak Chopra wrote, and he said something around how we change and how our skeleton changes. And we have new skin every 4 weeks. Every 4 weeks, your skin sheds, dry skin falls off, and you have brand new skin. So literally, you're not the same person you were 4 weeks ago because your skin's different. So when we hold on to something that doesn't serve us, when we hold on to a belief or an identity or a label that's no longer fitting us and we've grown out of it, yet we won't let it go, it's like wearing a t-shirt that's way too small. And I'm like, baby, that doesn't fit you anymore. I don't have any breastfeeding clothes because I'm not breastfeeding my kids anymore. I stopped breastfeeding them a while ago. So I would never wear those breastfeeding t-shirts that were all stained and saggy and fucked up. They were easy access to pull a boob out. But right now that makes no sense in my life because it's not who I am anymore. And I know it's not the same thing, but it makes no sense to wear things that don't fit you. So what labels and identities have you currently been holding on to that do not serve you anymore? And how can you step into who you want to be? That future you, think of her. What is she doing? How does she show up in her day-to-day? How does she spend her mornings? How does she spend the evening? What time does she go to bed? Who are her friends? What rooms is she in? What programs has she spent money on and invested in? What countries is she traveling to? What thoughts occupy her mind? What does she believe about herself and her worthiness? What does her bank account look like? Who are the close-knit people in her family? Who has she said, no more, I'm not going to deal with you? Who has she cut off? Right? Like, who is that version of you? And the more you do this work of letting go of who you no longer want to be, who you know you're not anymore, the more you start to figure out who you truly are and who you want to step into. And I feel like it's never arriving. I feel like it's a dance that we always do. I don't get there. I'm on my way. I'm always on my way. I don't know who I am. I don't ever think I will know who the fuck I am, and I love it. But I can tell you who I'm not. And I can tell you who I'm becoming. And I can tell you who I want to be. And I can tell you what I'm trying to do. And if it's helpful, answer the questions of, who do you hate being? Who do you no longer want to be? What are you no longer interested in doing? Who are you no longer interested in being? What is not serving you anymore right now? What are the thoughts, beliefs, identities, labels that you have held on to that you know you have outgrown? What version of you do you want to step into? What's required for you to step into her? What is she doing right now? What can you do today that she's doing over there in the future? And the closer we can meet the version of ourselves we wish to be, and we act as her, the better it's going to be for us. So we act as her, meaning, we're not pretending, meaning, if I felt really abundant right now, if I had all the money I wanted to have, let's say money is a problem for you. If you had the money you wanted to have, how would you feel right now? Can you close your eyes and feel it? Imagine you got all that money. Look at the zeros. You just looked at your bank account and you're like, yes, I've busted my ass and I've made the money. Or yes, I've worked on the right thing and boom, here's the abundance. And you look at your bank account and you smile. How do you feel? How does that fucking feel to have that abundance? That amount of money or whatever it is you want. I'm using money as an example. How does it feel? Can you feel that now? Can you feel that even if it's not true yet? Yet. Can you be happy now? Can you be joyful now? Can you be in love right now? You don't have to wait for the love of your life to swipe left on fucking Tinder or Bumble or bump into this person to find the love of your life and feel in love. Can you be in love now? And these are the shifts that I believe have made my identity swaps and changes so much easier. It's never easy, but easier because I'm not holding on to who I think I am. I'm not like 80K, that's who I am. Well, what about when you're not? What does that mean? It means I'm shifting. It means I'm growing. It means I'm evolving. It means I'm stepping more towards who I want to be. And I'm stepping away from who no longer serves me and what no longer serves me. And that transition can be easier on us. And I find it to be so sticky for some of us. Some of us really battle and fight. I am this. I am that. Okay. And what happens when you're not? How does that feel for you? And if we want the transition to be smoother and easier, we need to be nimble. We need to be fluid. If we're rigid, and I say we, me too, baby. I'm talking to myself. If I'm rigid with who I know myself to be, when I need to become someone else, when I need to transform and transmute and change and shift, it's going to be a head fuck. It's going to feel like an identity fuck versus an identity shift. And I'm telling you now, I feel this for myself right now. I am shifting to a different level, to a different version of myself, and it is not an easy shift. It's physically sometimes excruciating, and I can feel it. But I know that if I want the things that I want and I want to create what I want to create for my future self, when I tap into her, she's like, don't fight this. Let's go. Take the next step. Peel the next layer off. Take that veil off. It's like you're unveiling and unraveling and taking off the layers of skin, the things that don't fit you in order to become who you're here to become. I don't know who that is, but I know who I'm not. I hope that it serves you to think about this because I know that the identity shift is happening. I've been speaking to many of you on my socials. I've been in my sessions with my clients. Like, So many of the women I'm meeting and hearing from are leveling up. And some people don't like that. They don't like when you level up. They don't like when you decide to change your mind. They don't like when you start to step into the future of yourself. They don't like when you don't need their validation or their permission anymore. So it's going to ruffle some feathers. The identity shift is not only a head fuck for us, but it also ruffles the feathers of those around us. And to me, it teaches me who are my people? Who here is happy for me? Who here wants to see me win and evolve? Who here is trying to grip to the old version of me? Like, imagine the snake skin. When the snake sheds, that skin, if you touch it, it breaks. It's so thin and like flaky. It's like, that's not me anymore. You're gripping onto dead skin cells that are no longer me. And it's who they believe you to be. And I'm like, that's not me. So when someone's like, you're so loud and crazy, I'm like, yeah, sometimes. And other times I'm fucking serious and quiet. And other times I'm a badass bitch. And other times I'm a nurturing, beautiful, soft, emotional, hot mess that's bleeding. And other times I'm a mama and I'm nurturing my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never want to know who I am, because if I do, I consider that I've fallen in love with a version of myself that I think I am. And to me, that's ego. To me, that's ego. If I think I know who I am, then I'm labeling myself and I'm boxing myself in. That's how I see it. And I like that because it reminds me that I'm always changing and evolving and shifting. And if I don't like what's happening right now, don't worry, it'll change. Don't worry, you can take some action and move around, and you can change your circumstance and situation. You are a part of the creation of your life. Nobody's doing this to you. You are a part of it. You become responsible. You have the ability to respond. You can change, you can shift, you can grow. How amazing is that? It makes me feel empowered and inspired to take action to become who I want to become. And I don't lose sight of that. And even if I don't become her and I become a different version, cool, I'm here and I need to do a pit stop because there's something I got to learn in this version. And I've had many pit stops on my way to see who I want to be, on my way to becoming her, whoever that is. Oh my God, there's so much about this in the book that's coming. But I'm hoping that this serves you because I know so many are going through an identity shift right now. And if you are, just consider that you have to evolve, you have to grow, you have to learn, you have to age. Your experiences are teaching you this is a good thing. Continue to ask yourself, who do I know myself not to be? Who am I not? What am I done with? What am I finished with? Who do I want to step into? What attributes, what values, what habits does the version of me that I want to be, what does she do? How's her life? See if you can close your eyes, get quiet, and visualize the future you, that life you want to live with all the dreams and everything. And see if it makes you feel. If it makes you feel something, that's fucking real. It's already done. It's a done deal. You just got to take the steps she took. And that shit gives you a reverse engineered roadmap. Oh my God, I could keep going. I'm going to stop. I love you. This is meant to be a quick one. But I just want to say, if you're in the move of this, if this is resonating with you, write down some of these questions I asked. Have some time to go inside of yourself and ask yourself these questions. Who am I done being? Who am I done pretending to be? Who do I not want to be anymore? Right? Like, who do I know myself to be? What is the future me doing? What is she thinking? Who does she hang out with? Who do I need to know? What do I need to step into? Who can support me on this journey? Believe you me, it's a journey. You need support. Even if it's friends, mentors, whoever it is. Because it's going to happen for you. The more that you know who you're not, that's the more that you're going to know who you are. I love you. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much for listening. I freaking love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for your ears and your energy and your attention. Thank you for letting me into your world. And thank you so much for listening and tuning in to this podcast. There are so many podcasts you can listen to, and I deeply, deeply, for real, appreciate you listening to mine. Do me one big favor, one big thing. Please share this episode or this podcast with a woman who you know needs to hear this. This is my mission on planet Earth, to serve as many women as possible so that we could show up, stand up, speak up, and create the confidence and the life that we desire. I appreciate you, my love. I will see you on the next episode.